Subject English, Standard 4th. Hello students, my name is Shruti Nanaware. And today we are going to learn a very interesting lesson in English. And the name of the lesson is Your Own Book of Science. Look at the picture. What does it look like? Yes, it looks like a diary or a book that you have to make of your own. It is not compulsory that you have to make something new or you have to buy something new book from the shop. Whatever book you are having, you can decorate it with your own ideas and you can make a new book and you can design it and you can use that your book as your own book of science. Whatever drawings or whatever you are experimenting something new, you can note down in that book, as we are having fabulous 5 words that we are learning every day. Even you can note down in that book, so at the end of the day you are learning so many new things, or at the end of the week you are learning so many new things. So you will have a collection of things or a collection of words that you have written or you have done. So now let's begin with our lesson. I'm going to read it and you listen it carefully. Your Own Book of Science, Part 1. You may come across simple but amazing science experiments in magazines, newspaper supplements, or on the internet. Collect any 5 to 8 experiments you like. Ask your parents or teachers whether the experiments are safe. Then carry out the experiments. If necessary, take the help of your parents or teachers. Record the experiment on separate sheet of your book of science. Example is given below. So students, you must have come across means finding something new by chance. So you must have read or come across or must have seen simple experiments or activities in the magazines, newspaper, or on internet. So you can do that activities or experiments with the help of your parents or teachers, and after doing that you have to note down the experiments and the activities in the book that you have made. Come across, it means finding something new or by chance. Now let's start with the experiment, and our today's experiment is lifting ice. The things that we need for the experiments are ice cubes, thread, and common salt. So here there is a picture of all the things that we are going to use while doing the experiment. The first thing that we are going to use is ice cubes. The second thing that we are going to use is string or a thread. And the third thing that we will be needed is salt, that which we get in the house. Now let's begin with our experiment. You have to take a glass or a bowl and you have to place some ice cubes in it. And the second step is you have to place a thread on the ice cubes. Third step, place some common salt on or near the thread on the ice cubes. So when we sprinkle salt on ice, what happens? The ice starts melting and the upper layer of the ice get converted into salt water. As the salt lowers the temperature of the ice, the salt water starts freezing again and the thick layer of the ice is formed around the thread. After few minutes, hold the two ends of the thread and pick them up carefully. You can get to see the ice has got stuck to the thread. Students, now let us see some interesting puzzles in our surroundings. The first one, where do flowers get their color from? So, there is a liquid chemical present in it, means the flower has a pigment. The name of this chemical is anthocyanins. Due to this liquid chemical, the flower get different colors. Second question, why are leaves green? So children, you must have seen all the leaves have green color. But do you know why are the leaves green? It is because the leaves have a liquid chemical in it called chlorophyll. Next question, why does chopping an onion make you cry? So children, you must have observed your mother while she cuts an onion, her eyes are full of tears. So do you know why does it happen? It is because of a chemical present in the onion called as amino acid sulfur oxide. There are curved lines on the onion which are called as cells. So whenever we cut an onion, the cells on the onion break and it releases a chemical in the form of a vapor. Vapor means gas. So when the vapor comes in contact with our eyes, a chemical reaction takes place between the vapor and the water present in our eyes, due to which mild sulfuric acid is formed, because of which our eyes start tearing. So students, what do you get to see in this picture? Can you guess what is this? Come, let us see in our next topic. These are called as hailstones. Have you heard this word? Hailstones? Come, let us see what does it actually means. Now let's start with our next topic, that is why does it hail even in summer. I'm reading the lesson, just listen it carefully. Why does it hail even in summer? We feel very hot in summer. The sun shines brightly and the temperature is high. And then suddenly there are clouds in the sky and it starts raining. Not just water, but even small balls of ice. We say it had started hailing. The small balls of ice are called hailstones. Why does it hail in the hot summer season? So this picture is of hailstones. How we can see a normal rain, even we can get to see a rain of hailstones. Now we will see why does it hail in summer. I'm reading the next paragraph, just listen it carefully. As we move up from the land, the temperature begins to fall. Up in the sky, it is very cold, even in hot season. You know that there are water particles in the clouds that we see in the sky. Very high up in the sky, the water particles in the clouds turn into little bits of ice. Sometimes there are strong winds in the clouds. They push these little bits of ice upward, so they do not fall to the ground. They go up and collect more water particles, which freeze onto them. Thus, the tiny balls get bigger and bigger. They turn into hailstones. The heavy hailstones then fall to the ground in form of a shower. Students, as you had studied in EVS, that as we move up from the land, the temperature begins to fall. Though it is very hot on the ground, but the temperature in the sky is very cool, though it is any season. And you know that there are water particles in the clouds. Clouds are consist of water particles. And because of the cool climate, the water particles gets converted into small bits of ice. So when there is thunderstorm in the sky, what happens? That small bits of ice, instead of falling down, they move upward. That water particles do not fall on the ground, but they go up more in the sky and collect more water and freeze onto them. And that water particles get bigger and bigger. So here in the picture you can get to see that how the small drops of rain are going up towards the very cool temperature, and how they are getting converted from small bits of ice to a big into a big hailstone. And when the clouds are unable to hold that bigger weight hailstone, these hailstones then fall on the ground in form of a shower. So now you can see here in this picture the shower of a hailstones. It look exactly as a rain shower, but in rain shower we find droplets of water, but here you will get to see a balls of ice which hits the ground with very big force, very great force. Now we will move towards our next paragraph, so listen very carefully. Very tiny hailstones melt before they reach the ground. They turn into raindrops, but some hailstones reach the ground before they melt. A light shower of hail can be great fun, but a hailstorm can cause a great damage to crops, plants, and animals. A very small, very tiny hailstones melt before they fall on the ground in form of a raindrops, but the hailstones which are very big in size, they reach the ground before they melt. As everyone can enjoy a shower of rain as it is very great fun, but when a but when we see a hailstorm, that hailstorm cause a great damage to crops, plants and animals. Like different countries, Maharashtra was also hit by a hailstorm. Now let's see what happens. Maharashtra was hit by a series of hailstorms in 2014. The hailstorms devastated thousands of acres of standing crops. Fruit crops were ruined, birds and animals were killed and injured in large numbers. Farmers suffered heavy losses. It was a great natural calamity. Like floods and earthquake, hailstorm is also one of the natural calamity in which people suffered a very great losses. Like animals and birds gets injured, the farmers suffered great loss, like all the crops gets damaged. Not only farmers but all the people suffer during these natural calamities. Like all other natural calamities and disaster, hailstorm is also one of the natural calamity because of which everyone suffers a very great loss. The picture tells about the damage caused by the hailstorms. So students, hope you had learned something new in this video. Thank you.